Hey everyone, this is Heidi from the blog Hands Occupied with another knitting video tutorial for you today. In today's video, we are going to tackle how to knit the double stockinette stitch. This swatch right here is knit in something called double stockinette stitch. As you can see, both sides of this little guy look pretty much exactly the same, and the ends even do as well. It's like this little puffy, like three-dimensional thing that is actually knit completely flat. It's knit using slip stitches, which result in both sides looking like the right side of your knitting, and the edges having a chain edge look like it's the right side of your knitting as well. So the resulting fabric when you work double stockinette stitch is very fluffy and dense, and it's just so beautiful, and it's really, you should even just whip up a swatch of this if you don't have a project for it, because it just feels so cool. So let me show you how to work this fun stitch. So what we've got to do is cast on a multiple of 2 stitches, so an even number of stitches. For demonstration's sake, I've got 2, 4, 6 stitches right here. What the other amazing thing about double stockinette stitch is that it's the same one row repeat on both sides of your work that result in that amazing fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the yarn towards us or with the yarn in front. So we're going to slip the first stitch of our row with the yarn in front. Then we take that working yarn between our needles as we slip the stitch to bring it to the back. Then we knit the next stitch. Then bringing our yarn to the front again, we slip 1 stitch with our yarn in front, and it's worth noting that you slip the stitch purlwise. Then you bring the yarn to the back and knit 1. And then once again, we slip 1 stitch with our yarn in front and then knit the last stitch. And that, even though you can't see what the resulting fabric looks like on my needle just yet, that one row that I just demonstrated is what you're going to repeat every single time throughout your swatch or your project to accomplish double stockinette stitch. Let's show you that again. So we're going to turn to the other side of our work, and again, we're just going to repeat slip 1 with the yarn in front and knit 1. Bringing our yarn towards us, we're going to slip 1 with the yarn in front and knit 1. And again, slip 1 with yarn in front and knit 1 to finish out that row. And so what happens here is you are slipping the stitches that were knit in the previous row, and you're knitting the stitches that were slipped in the previous row. And what that does is it pulls all of the stitches up into a denser fabric, like I mentioned at the top of the video. And we can take a look at this swatch again. It pulls all these stitches into a denser fabric that has some 3-dimensionality to it, which you can almost see when I stretch out this swatch. You can see that it's a little thicker than a normal stockinette stitch. The other really nice thing about working double stockinette stitch is that it doesn't curl up like regular stockinette stitch. And so with that added density and its lack of curling up, this is an ideal stitch if you want to try making a scarf in a pattern of your own design, because this is extra thick and warm and squishy, and I just love this stitch. It's really worth giving it a try for yourself. And if you have any tips, tricks, or questions, don't forget to reach out in the comments with those, and tune in again soon for even more video tutorials.